let's judge these banned cards and see if they're worthy of being pulled off the list or not. Hey there everyone, and welcome back to an ongoing series where we take a look at Yu-Gi-Oh's TCG ban list and see if any cards are worthy of coming off it or not, with or without erratas. So anyways, we're going to take a look at last week's comment once again from Tenebrae 17 that primarily talked about the cards themselves. I think there was a couple more, but that was replies to the comments themselves. But anyways, to kick things off, let's go with the first one, which is about Dragon Rulers, which came up last couple of weeks. Understanding the back half of 2013 is actually really important. Yeah. The funny thing is, so far, it's only come up a couple times, but, well, hopefully there's a video or something that can really just explain it in its simplest form. It's just released after the World Championship when TCG broke away from the old system. Honestly, I would say that some of the cards on the OCG list actually work a little better than the TCG, considering some of them just seem too out there. Like, I know recently they put Summon Limit, I think it was, on there, and that just feels weird. Like, whatever. But yeah, I'll take a look at that. 6 Cents isn't actually Killer Dragon Ruler. It just happened to be a time when it was reported. Released in Legendary. Yeah. That was pretty much just based off of what I had looked up. So yeah. Nowadays, 6 Cents is only really usable in decks that can immediately get to him. Yeah. Being a normal trap with major randomized element. Huge detriment for consistency at this time. Raise questions. Levers ban, which would cut off the route to force it out via Beatrix, and transaction rollback. 2 elements is the only deck. Well, if that's the case, then it could maybe come back. I know that I saw a video recently that someone had actually used transaction rollback to use... What trap was it? I forget which one it was. It was one of the old ones. Old traps that it effectively copied. I think that's what it does. And reuse the effects of. So, yeah. I guess it could come back, but it would be at 1. Self-destruct button is just hard no. It doesn't do anything positive for the game. It's just solely to cause misery to judges. Well, that's why I imposed, like, I had mentioned a unique errata to it, much like a bunch of some of the other cards, especially, was it the match-winning ones? The first one was just straight up put on the ban list in the first, either it was an emergency ban or just in the first ban phase, and then everything else was just deemed not legal for tournament use. But, whatever. Ronin Tonin was banned to reduce Sprite's access to Totally Awesome and previously had Mass Driver. Yeah, that was one of the things that it was mentioned was Mass Driver, because you can just keep cycling through Ronin Tonin all the time. Sprite now has access to Totally Awesome via the Nimble package. Funny thing, I haven't seen anybody at locals run Totally Awesome, so I really can't say much about that. Nimble package and Mirror Mage of Ice Barrier substitute was also unbanned because previously Ronin had broken it. Yeah, I think it's more of a tit for tat. One is off, the other is on. Stuff like that. And the last one is royal oppression is basically vanity's emptiness and has issue. That's the issue Maxi does when you build your own entire board before flipping it, denying your opponent. Well, I mean, it is a trap. So that's really all I got to say. Apart from if you have back row removal. So every deck would play for the reason, and royal oppression also is a card that should not be reworked. I mean, they do have Omni negates, so whatever. Beyond that, I think that's it for last week's comments. So let's go ahead. Let's see if I remember which ones we got. Smoke Grenade of the Thief. When the equipped... this is an equipped magic card, and the effect is when the equipped magic card is active and is destroyed due to a card effect, look at your opponent's hand. Select one card from his or her hand and discard it to the graveyard. So, Smoke Grenade had the... I believe at the time it wasn't like every other card had the same kind of effect, but it had the effect of having information on your opponent's hand and it being a equipped card. Well, I mean, it didn't die right off the bat. But the reason why that it got banned was that the Infernoble archetype ended up abusing it, being able to cycle through Smoke Grenade multiple times, effectively wiping out your opponent's hand right then and there. This is another archetype I don't really see anymore. Well, I mean, that I haven't seen at locals. So could this card come back? I think another archetype could abuse it. So in its current form, I would say no, unless nothing really could cycle through this card. But if there was any changes, I think it would be at the cost of something to you as well. Say, for example... you would have to... The equip card would also get destroyed. So that would be an interesting little backlash to it. It'd be something akin to like... Call of the Haunted, where if the trap card itself was destroyed, the monster as well, outside of course Jinzo. But I don't know. It's a toss-up. The next card for today is Soul Charge. This is a normal magic card, and its effect is target any number of monsters in your graveyard, special summon them, and if you do, you lose 1,000 life points for each monster special summoned by this effect. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card. You can only activate one Soul Charge per turn. So, Soul Charge has a low cost for high gain, where you can just bring back 5 monsters. Just to give an example, and you would only have to lose 5,000 life points. And right then and there, it could be any 5 monsters with effects that could trigger upon special summon. So, I think, if I remember correctly, Marincess has effects upon special summon. Let's make sure. Wrong card. God damn it. Yeah. So Marincess cards do have special summon activation effects. So throwing that into a Marincess deck would be too beneficial for it. I believe there are other archetypes. Off the top of my head, I don't remember which ones. But could this card come back? Honestly, probably not. Like I said, it's too low of a cost for that much gain, and you can extend off of it. So really the only thing I can think of is if they made a version of it where it lets you do that, but the detriment is you can't conduct your battle phase and you can't access your extra deck. So yeah. Beyond that, I can't really see much of change or allowance of this card to come back. I mean, you could say that, but with the change, I can see it coming back at 1 if it was hard restricted. But beyond that, no. But it already does have a hard once per turn. So just having one in the deck with those restrictions is okay, I guess. All right. So time for number 3, which is Simorgh, Bird of Sovereignty. So Simorgh, Bird of Sovereignty is a Link 3 Winged Beast Wind effect monster. And its cost is 2 or more monsters, including a Winged Beast monster. Its effect is, cannot be used as Link material. Your opponent cannot target this card or a Winged Beast monster this card points to with card effects. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you can destroy one other Simorgh card you control instead. During the end phase, you can special summon one Winged Beast monster from your hand or deck with a level equal to or lower than the total number of unused spell or trap cards on the field. Well, it says and, but whatever. You can only use this effect of Simorgh, Bird of Sovereignty, once per turn, meaning the special summon. So this card could special summon a monster every turn, depending on how both of you set up your back row. It had protection from targeting. It was also mainly used to bring in Avian or Barrier Statue of Winds. But considering Barrier Statue of Winds has been banned for a while, that's one less good target for Bird of Sovereignty. And honestly, I don't see... Well, I don't remember if I did do that one. I think I did. Regardless, could this card come back? To be honest, I haven't really seen a Winged Beast deck be played at locals, but I'm not sure about other places. There could still be a Winged Beast deck here or there being played. But as I mentioned before, the Barrier Statue of Winds is not playable in tournament format. So, the only really good target is Avian, which is mainly used in Flow. So maybe not. But beyond that, if there was any errata, I would say nick out the get rid of the special summon during the end phase. That'd be the only thing I could think of. You could keep the target immunity, but get rid of the special summon right then and there. That'd be about it. And with that said, maybe one. So, but the one thing I will say is, while I was looking this card up, it's actually unlimited in the OCG. Just gonna throw that out there. So yeah. And with that said, let's go into the last card for today, which is Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf is a Link 2 Fire Thunder Link effect monster, which is weird. But its requirement is 2 monsters, including a level rank Link 2 monster. Its effect is cannot be used as Link material the turn it is Link summoned. Your opponent cannot target monsters this card points to with card effects. During the main phase, quick effect, you can target one level 2 monster in your graveyard, or if your opponent controls a monster, you can target one rank Link 2 monster instead. Special summon it. You can only use this effect of Sprite Elf once per turn. So it, I believe, I think it's the only Sprite card in the entire archetype to be banned at the moment. If it isn't, then I think there's like maybe one more. Nah, I think that's the only one. So the big reason why I got banned from my research was due to the fact that there was no cost for bringing back a monster, and and then you could just link off that one card and extend your play from there. So honestly, if it were to come back, Sprite would be even more powerful than it is right now. So once again, it's another deck I haven't actually seen at locals. So, but yeah, like I said, it would be more powerful if it had Sprite Elf again. So on the original one, I would say no. If it were to get an errata, I would say the card that gets brought back I would say cannot be used for link summons or just straight up extra deck summons. That way you would have to figure out what other ways to use it, like tribute summons. Wow, blanking out right there. So yeah, limiting what you can do with the special summon monster from Sprite Elf might problem solve it. Though I'm not sure if with that it could come back. If it does, it'd be at 1 at most. Nothing really came up during the search in terms of OCG. So my guess it's also on the ban list on that one. But anyways, that is actually going to do it for me today. between now and next time, I'll probably look into. More than likely, I'll try to look into the 2013 stuff if I'm able to even find it. If not, then yeah. Anyways, till next time, everybody. Happy dueling.